Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to my Adobe Premiere Pro Masterclass course teaching you everything you need to know about this program. If you enjoyed today's lesson, be sure to check out the link in the description for the full Masterclass course. What up, guys? Now we're going to be concluding the advanced video effects available in Premiere Pro by actually creating an extremely popular effect in the video editing world, and that is the VHS effect. Yes, you can, of course, create a replica VHS effect within Adobe Premiere Pro, and the reason I've chosen this is because there are countless of videos out there on YouTube, on other sites, all exploring how you would do this, and honestly, it's like a trend. It's a very popular effect, and overall, I'm going to walk through how to combine a variety of different methods available to you within Adobe Premiere Pro to create a VHS replica effect. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. Now, I'm going to be using a clip that I used a while ago in this particular course. By all means, if you have it, go ahead and import it. It is this clip of the dancers that we actually organized into that folder called dancers. Now I'm actually going to bring that on, and I'm just going to go ahead and right click and just go ahead and set to frame size, just because I didn't actually set my frame size to 4K, and that's what these clips were actually shot in. They're shot in 4K, but for the sake of my program and not lagging too much while I put this together for you, I've switched it to 1080p. So without further ado, let's actually jump into this. Now the first thing I want to do is actually revisit our wave effect. You guys remember the wave effect? We kind of just threw it on there in the beginning just for kind of a mess around to give an example of effects, but to do that you would go to effects, or obviously effects up here, either one. I'm just going to go ahead and type wave warp. And that's going to be the first key part of this particular exercise right here to create the VHS effect. Let's just go ahead and drag that wave warp onto our clip, and we want to immediately start tweaking the parameters. Now the wave type I want to change to square. The wave height I want to change to about 25. The wave width, this might sound like a huge contrast, but I want to change that to 1000. And then the direction I want to change to minus 0.01. And the actual, how come that didn't work? Minus 0.01. Give an enter on that. Okay, well, maybe we could try minus 0.05. Okay, and now that did minus 0.01. Okay, something's wrong with that. Whatever it is, I'm not too sure. I'm just going to leave that. It did kind of what I wanted to in the end. Then I'm going to go to pinning, turn that none to all edges, and if we actually start giving a play here, you guys can see this has created this kind of glitch effect where it's bringing this glitch up the screen right here. You can clearly see it. Let me just go ahead and replay it, and everything is kind of flying up pretty quickly. So that's the beginning of our glitch effect right there in a nutshell, and I'm actually going to try to do minus 0.05 to see if that would do anything. No, but it's not. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this. You see the kind of wave going up the screen, almost like a bad signal effect, and that's kind of what this is at first, is kind of like a bad signal effect. And we've got this performer there from Halloween, and overall that is how we would go about creating the actual general wave that would be making its way up the screen. In fact, we could even maybe go to the wave height and maybe type that as 20. Go ahead and give this a play. Overall, either way, it's looking nice. I'm just going to undo that to do 25. But now what we want to do is actually type in noise to our effects. And that's the next piece that we want to drag on. We want to go down to noise and grain and go ahead and just drag that regular noise over, throw it on, and change the parameters to 20%. So that's going to be 20% noise. And right now, we're obviously in a quarter quality, so we can watch this quicker. So it looks absolutely terrifying, but I assure you it's not going to look that bad. And in fact, it's going to be adding an extremely nice complement to our clip when we actually go ahead and render this in the end of the video, so we can see what the final video is looking like. But I'm actually just going to go ahead and give this another play real quick just to have a look at how it's looking. It's looking nice. We see this main wave making its way up the screen, while this noise is obviously filling in, making it not look the greatest quality in the world. Definitely doing nice. Now, next up, what does a VHS effect have? That's right. It always has the date in the top right-hand corner of our screen. So let's actually just go ahead and go to graphics and just drag in a basic title Go ahead and drag that throughout the remainder of the entire shot. Go ahead and press T to obviously get to our text tool. And let's go ahead and just put in a random date. So for me, when I'm actually recording this, it is the 17th of, or the 4th of the 17th of the 18th. And I'm actually just going to input that quickly. Go to find a nice font that I want to throw it in on. Honestly, it does not really matter what font you're actually using, but I just want to kind of grab a decent one. There you go. There's Gotham. I don't mind Gotham. And now we actually just have some standard text. Now what I want to do is highlight that and change the fill to black. So this is actually just a black piece of text. And then what we can actually proceed to do is go up here to the position and just kind of position it up here. Now, obviously, normally we would have it probably about here. However, there's still one crucial part of this effect to do that is going to make sense why we'd want to put the text about here, I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm just going to put it there on a guess, and it will make sense why I'm throwing it there in a second. But first, I want to actually go back to our effects and actually just retype in wave warp, because that text itself needs to have a wave warp on it. We drag that onto the text. We come down here and actually just go ahead and repeat that process where the wave type, I'm actually going to leave that on sign. The wave height, I'm going to obviously leave on 10. The wave width, I'm going to leave that to about 1000 again. The direction, minus 0.01 again. That for some reason goes to 0 right off the bat. Pinning, I'm going to set to all edges. And overall, if we give this a play, that is now doing its thing, kind of. In fact, the wave height, I still might set to 25. And the wave type, actually, I'm going to set that to square as well. So kind of just repeat the exact same effect, basically, or the wave height, actually, I am going to put on 10. But sort of repeat the exact same effect that we just did to the clip below it. And now we will have a piece of text that is essentially glitching out. But you see this kind of jump back to forth effect right there. That's not what we want. That can be a kind of a mess up. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and bring this down to -1 manually, or to minus 3 maybe we could do. And, see, that's still doing this weird 0.1, or minus 0.1 actually. Boom. If I do minus 0.1, it's still doing a bit of a glitch like that, so I might just go ahead and change that wave type to sine. Overall, yeah, there we go. Okay, so you just want to kind of polish out that glitch sort of effect. So now it's still waving, but it's still stuck up there on the screen. So now we've actually done that. What I want you guys to do is actually just type in blur, because we want to add a little bit of blur to that text just to make it not as kind of, HD. Because obviously the text shouldn't be perfect HD if the background is all noisy and stuff. So I want to actually throw on a camera blur to this right here, and that has at first glance totally erased it. We want to just go ahead and set the percentage to about 5, or actually that in itself might actually be a little bit too much. Maybe we could set it to about 1. Let's go ahead and throw that on about 1%, or maybe about 2%. Yep, just so we get a little bit of blur like that, where it's looking kind of nice, so it's not as in focus as, you know what I mean, as it was a second ago. And now we want to do the most crucial part to this effect that really brings in the VHS kind of look to it. And that is to go up here to File, and then to actually go to New, and then to Color Matte. And if we click Color Matte, it will obviously tell us to input the standard video settings that this particular sequence has. Press OK, and just select a black color matte. Okay, now if we have actually created that, if we go over here, that will be right here. We can actually click and drag that to cover the entire image. And the reason I want to do that is because this is going to be how we're going to fake the black bars that a VHS would normally have on the side, simply because the resolution hadn't actually leveled up to a high quality resolution yet. So if we go ahead and tweak the position right now, so we can click position, and let's actually just start tweaking this guy on the left to bring this over to actually create the look of a kind of border on the side where originally the frame would be cut. And then we hold Alt on our clip and drag up to duplicate that, and then just go ahead and drag that over to the other side to again create, by the way, set your one on the right to 540, because I just noticed that there's a slight line under there. So 540 is gonna tie that in right there. Then go back to this guy up here, and oops, wrong stuff, and just start tweaking this so we can actually create a fake border on the side of the screen where obviously this would be a fake VHS border. And now if we actually go back to this text, we can just go ahead and go back to position, just kind of reposition this text up here a little bit. And now, if we actually just go ahead and set an out point at about 5 seconds, because trust me, this is going to be a very effect-heavy thing to render right now, we can actually go ahead and give this a pre-render, and I'm actually going to have to cut to when the pre-render is done probably to see how long this actually takes, because I think it's going to take a few minutes just to render this 5-second preview. But once our pre-render comes back, guys, I'm going to show you exactly what this is looking like, and overall, we would have achieved the VHS fake replica effect within the advanced effects section in this Adobe Premiere Pro Masterclass. So I'm going to wait this 1 minute 30 seconds till this is done pre-rendering, and we're going to come back and take a look at this. And that on screen right now, guys, is our replica VHS effect. Overall, very, very cool with this wave coming up the top of it. Obviously, it's super noisy over here. If we go ahead and just play it back from here, this is looking very, very cool. And overall, we have just succeeded in actually faking and recreating a replica VHS effect using the advanced video editing effects and the advanced video editing section within our Adobe Premiere Pro Masterclass. And I'm very happy with this. I hope you guys have worked through this with me as well if you still had this clip from earlier. If not, it's a very cool thing just to watch over the process of actually, watching this being created. And overall, guys, without further ado, we are going to be moving on with the lectures. Boom, there you have it, guys. That is another lesson done out of the Adobe Premiere Pro CC Masterclass course that is 100% free on my channel. There's a complete playlist literally working through everything from the most possible basic things available in Adobe Premiere Pro, like, creating a new project, all the way to the most advanced stuff available to you in the entire program. We're literally breaking through the entire thing. If you haven't already gone over and checked out that playlist, then by all means, if you've made it to this point in the video, I would 100% urge you to. Seriously, this is an extremely useful playlist. By all means, even if you know the very basics, you can go here and just, pick and choose which lessons to actually partake in. It's not all extreme basic stuff. It is sequential, so at the very bottom of the playlist, it is the most basic stuff, and it's essentially working its way up to the most advanced stuff available in the entire program, Adobe Premiere Pro CC. And essentially we're just consistently adding videos to this playlist, working our way up to the most advanced stuff. Obviously, I've already created the entire course. It's over 7+ hours. It is also available on Udemy. Basically, I'm just taking my time to upload this content here, keep on putting it into this playlist, and then once I've actually built up kind of like let's say 50+ videos, all basically little mini lessons breaking down this entire program, then I'm going to start pushing a lot of promotional content on my actual, YouTube channel, just kind of pushing and directing you guys to this particular playlist, and basically just trying to direct as many people as I can to this playlist, because, I originally created this project as part of some commission work for a really big Udemy instructor who was actually looking to branch off into creating content about subjects he didn't actually know about, etc. So I was hired to create this whole project. We worked on this entire thing together for him to actually sell on Udemy, but for me to actually just give away to you guys. Obviously, I could have sold this thing if I wanted to. I decided I didn't want to actually, just get like $5 a pop for it, $10 a pop for it, whatever, whatever price I set it as. Instead, I thought there was much more value just in actually giving the whole thing away, seeing as I'd already, had some sort of monetary gain from it by the fact that I was actually hired to create this kind of big, intricate project and kind of create the whole lesson plan, everything for this really big creator over on Udemy who literally has hundreds of thousands of students that he's taught various different topics to across the years. Obviously, like I said, he brought me on as I was kind of like someone who had knowledge in an area that he did not. We created the whole 7+ hour course. By all means, go to the playlist and check it out. It is the full Adobe Premiere Pro CC Masterclass course. If you guys know even loads about Adobe Premiere Pro, go click on the course. You will see a couple videos that you maybe didn't realize. I literally spent fucking hours combining all of my knowledge, you know what I mean, into of Adobe Premiere Pro, all the tips, tricks, and hacks I've picked up throughout using this in my day-to-day profession for the past years. You know what I mean? So there's a huge amount of knowledge that I compiled into this thing. Overall, very helpful to anybody who likes Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm now going to leave the trailer that actually went onto Udemy, the actual trailer that you can kind of watch before buying the course over on Udemy for the big instructors page, just so you guys can get a little bit more enticed. If you're even still watching at this point, by all means, I'm sure a bunch of you are. Enjoy the trailer, but the trailer is basically going to tell you everything I just told you now. Go over, check out the playlist in the description, the complete Adobe Premiere Pro CC Masterclass course of 2018. Here we go. Really hope you guys enjoy and find it helpful. Thanks for watching. I'm Jack. Have a nice day, guys, and take it easy. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Jack, and welcome to the Adobe Premiere Pro Masterclass course. I'm a freelance video editor / videographer, as well as YouTuber with 70,000 subscribers, producing weekly content based around video production, and I'm going to be your tutor for this particular course, and we're going to be walking through everything together from the most basic to the most advanced of video editing tactics available to you within Adobe Premiere Pro. We are going to start off with the introduction section where we get all the basics out the way, and by the end of even this first section, you will have edited together your first basic sequence. And a list of things that I can guarantee you will know how to do by the end of this Adobe Premiere Pro Masterclass course ranges from such a huge amount of stuff, including a full understanding of all the tools and shortcuts available to you within Adobe Premiere Pro, a complete understanding of animated titles, how to create basic ones all the way to advanced ones, how to create custom transitions, where we actually have hands-on activities to do this together, creating those custom transitions, as well as, of course, utilizing those basic default video and audio transitions. You will also have an understanding of the difference between color correction and color grading, and also how to utilize both of these video editing and overall color improvement tactics in Adobe Premiere Pro. You will also have complete hands-on understanding of keyframe animation, whether that be using keyframes to lower the decibels of soundtracks, all the way to using keyframes to animate clip dimensions, and of course, animating text as previously mentioned. You will then have a complete understanding of exporting, whether that be general exporting, exporting for specific platforms using presets, or even exporting in the maximum possible render quality available to you within Adobe Premiere Pro. You will then have a complete and intricate understanding of video speed and the speed manipulation tactics available to you in this program, whether that be using your simple reverses, your simple speed changes, or even the super advanced speed ramps and speed ramp transitions, which I am going to extensively get into in the video speed section of this course. We are then going to, in section 9, do all the ins and outs of advanced video effects, whether that be simply the VFX section all the way to all of the most user-friendly and time-saving methods I have personally had to learn the hard way, but I've compiled all of these kind of cheat sheets into that advanced effects section to be saving you guys so much time throughout your creative process in Adobe Premiere Pro. We're then going to actually complete an outro of the course to summarize everything you have learned and you will know how to do, as well as including a master project, which is kind of going to be an unfiltered, kind of raw, hands-on experience, and overall letting you guys get an insight into what my actual real-life, live, almost unedited, raw video editing and creative process is going to look like in terms of creating a project for a client that I would actually be creating normally. Without further ado, guys, there is so much in store for this Adobe Premiere Pro Masterclass. I can't wait to jump into it, and with that being said, let's do it.